Is it called Yagba? There's another one from Keneridinos area. Kaba. Kaba. Yagba. And where? Egbe. Mopa. Okun. A Muslim from that place who said he is ashamed of his Yoruba connection. Obviously, maybe his mom is Yoruba, his dad is Fulani, or his dad is Yoruba, his mom is Fulani, and all of that. So these are the weak men we are talking about. Intolerance, Egbamike. Number one, he said he's not living in Yorubaland. So, I mean, fear that somebody like that is not living in Yorubaland. So he's probably never really been to Yorubaland per se. So he's talking about it. So who is not tolerance of the Muslims? I mean, now in Yorubaland, are you being discriminated against as a Muslim in Yorubaland? Do you have any record of anything like that? Have you ever seen anywhere that in Yorubaland that people were not allowed to practice their religion? And what the heck does the Sharia have to do with you practicing your religion? Where is the discrimination he's talking about? So who are those who are not tolerant of the Muslims in Yorubaland? The Christians or the traditionalists? Who? It is all agenda. You get that now? It is an agenda. So see how many people will buy it. How many people, how many Muslims will buy it? Debate. If you remember very well, when this conversation about the Fulani terrorists was also raging, there were those who were busy gaslighting us that the idea of defending ourselves or protecting our people from this invading terrorists was like anti-Nigeria, anti-Northern Nigeria. It was a Fulani phobia. That the Fulanis, they have no other means. Their job is to be moving their cows up and down. And as long as they are part of Nigeria, they can move their cow everywhere. There were those who were pushing that too. There were those who actually pushed that. So if you dare come out to complain about the Fulani terrorists, you will see your fellow Yorubas who are going to come and attack you for it. So similarly, a lot of scenarios were kind of like painted. A lot of pictures were painted. Oh, it's because you don't like us. Oh, it's because you don't like them. I was like, what are you talking about? Every Friday, you will still see some streets in Lagos, so across Yorubaland, you will still see some streets that were completely taken over by the Muslim Ummah praying on Fridays. We have all our churches, mosques everywhere, and I've not really seen anywhere they said, okay, we are going to stop people from going to go and do their prayer. What people are saying is that we don't want your Sharia panel or your Sharia courts in Yorubaland. That is not saying they don't want you Muslim, because how are we going to do it? In every family, you have a Muslim, you have a Christian. People they've like intermarried and what have you. So what is the idea of people saying we don't want Sharia? It's as simple as that. We don't want it. So how does that stop you from practicing your religion? How did that stop anybody? They know that it's not stopping everybody or anyone. But they already have those who are already biting into that agenda anyway. And according to them, we might need to start a jihad. So my own question is, who are you going to fight the jihad with? Me? Or your family members? Or your neighbors? Or what do you mean by that jihad? What are you going to do? You're going to start attacking us? Eh? Like you are going to start what? Eje. Oh, Eje. You know those who are going to actually really beat you up. You talk about Panyo and your fellow Muslims, because we can tell where your extremism is coming from. And the moment it is totally against the tradition and the culture of Yorubaland, because we are Yoruba people. We are not kind of like extremists per se. We are not. We are not the type that's going to begin to behead people and be shouting Allahu Akbar. That's not our culture. That's not our tradition. People just want to practice their religion, you know, their relationship with their own God. Whether you are a Christian or a Muslim or a traditionalist, it doesn't really matter. Everybody's just kind of like doing their own thing. So where is this idea of, we can imagine what the Yoruba Muslims are. Are you mad? What the Yoruba Muslims are going through. If the Yoruba Muslims are going through anything, they must be in the hands of their fellow Muslims. It's not because of it. It's not in the hands of any other religion. Similarly, if the Yoruba Christian says they are going through something in Yoruba land, it's never in the hand of any other religion. It is in the hand of their fellow Christians. Abi Ronimopa. If you see Muslims who are complaining about anything, if they complain about anything, in Yoruba land, it must be against them. It must be within themselves. There's no way that you're going to hear anybody say the Christians are doing this to Muslims, or the Muslims are doing this to Christians in Yoruba land, except in Ilorin, where they will continue to remind us that, yes, it was Yoruba land, but it's no longer Yoruba land. Yeah, they love to remind us of that. That it is now a Fulani land. And it's quite a bit of ironical as well. You know? So the story of Afonja and Alimi in Ilorin. So the Afonja, who is supposed to be a Yoruba, a name that is now synonymous to a betrayer. Then the Alimi, the medicine seller, the Fulani medicine seller, that then betrayed Afonja himself, killed him like a piece of a dog, then created his caliphate in Ilorin. With those who are supposed, who were neither Fulani, neither Yoruba, Gambari in Ilorin. If you listen to some of them, they speak Yoruba very, very fluently. They will tell you that they are Yoruba, but they are not Yoruba. So the Fulanis from northern Nigeria or the other Fulanis elsewhere, when they look at them like they are just they're like, because to them, if you are not a Fulani or if you are not a Muslim and a Fulani, they see you as a subhuman. So if you have anything to, like, for example, if you are partly Yoruba and partly Fulani, you are subhuman to them. I don't know if you know that. So see, if you are watching me from Ilorin, yourself, you can admit to this. Are you Yoruba or are you Fulani? Your forebearers, and even some of them till now, they have no allegiance to Yoruba land. Because to them, they will proudly tell you Yorubas are idol worshippers. Abi? Therefore, you are closer to the Alejono. I mean, what do you call it, right? You are closer to the paradise because you are Fulani. Meanwhile, the real Fulani from up north, they see you as a subhumans, that they don't even see you as a Fulanis. So do you see that level of a confusion in between? But anything from there, from Ilorin, then coming down south, right? Then you realize that what you have there are Yorubas of different tribes within this space. So we are not extremists. We are not people that want to kind of kill because of religion. So similarly, if you look at the people in Kogi, I think some of them are as confused as well. There are some of them who see themselves as Fulani when they are not. Or somehow, right? They have this mixed blood. that will make them feel like the Fulani, sort of the Fulani link that they have is more superior to any other tribal affiliation they have. For example, somebody who is from Okun or Yagba or Kaba, who happen to be Yoruba, but then is forebearers who are also partly maybe married to Fulani or got married by Fulani. So they will kind of feel like they are Muslims. Because they are Muslims, then automatically they are more to the north. They see themselves as northern Nigeria than they will see themselves as Yorubas. Confused. You see these two examples, Kogi and then Ilorin. Every now and then, I actually do feel sorry for some of you. Seriously, I feel sorry for you. I know you don't. The reason why I feel sorry for you is because you may be speaking Yoruba, but not that Yorubas won't accept you as one of us, but a majority of you don't even see yourself as Yorubas. Because to you, identifying as Yorubas makes you inferior to your Fulani ancestry, Abi, your Fulani masters. And since you are mostly Muslims, right, automatically you kind of want to see yourself as one of the Fulanis, but yet you are not even kind of given that accord, don't you think? Because it's so easy. When you want to look at the areas where they will pick up on these fanatics, they will see loads of them from Ilorin that will disparage and talk so less of the Yorubas, their Yoruba heritage. When it is convenient, they come around to come and be our Afa in Yorubaland. Yeah, in places where they can do Wahasi, they can, if you need the Wahasi preachers from Ilorin, they will send them over. But they don't see themselves as Yorubas. When the chiefs are down, they will rather identify as the Fulanis, not Central, as part of this whole scheme. So Jihad, as in how you want to do them. Sure, you go first start your Jihad. For example, because I'm speaking right now as a Yoruba man, will you start your Jihad by killing members of your family? Because, you are going to need a simple majority, Abi. You will need simple majority. So that your Jihad that you want to start in Yorubaland for your Sharia, where are you going to start it from? Are you going to start it the way they do it in Kano? Are you going to rise from your Jumat prayer and then you are going to enter the streets and you begin to slaughter the non-Muslims so that you can get your Sharia? Oh, eje, pirigidi ya, ema je mo ya, omokoto pe ni mo ya. They say in Yorubaland there is a saying that tí o bá dùn ọmọ lára, ló máa sọ pé kò ní dá fẹ́ni tó nà. You see, when the beating is not enough, a child will be what? Will be saying it no go better for that person that is beating him. You see, tí ìyà bá mú yín lára tán, ẹ jọ̀ọ́ lẹ máa máa ṣe, ẹ jọ̀ọ́ sir, please, ẹ jọ̀ọ́ sir, please sir. So I want to hear that Jihad from his mouth to explain it.
Threatened. That is where you are admonished. That is the only thing you should fight. You can fight. When people are threatening you from practicing your religion, that is what is happening now. Your right to practice your religion peacefully is now being threatened. They don't want you to exercise your right to practice your religion. That is where Jihad conversation should come about. That is why we should even be discussing it. What did the teachings, what is Jihad all about? What is Jihad all about? If you have state governors giving voices, to the online mobs and vagabonds, and people who don't even have a name, who don't have a face, you have state government, you have Christian traditional rulers also amplifying and giving them voices, then you should know that you are now at the breaking point. You should know that you are now in a situation whereby you are not in any way better than the Palestinians and the Gazas. The only difference is that while it is foreigners, the Israelis that are oppressing, trying to steal the land of the Palestinians, your so-called fellow Yorubas are the one that is trying to render you second-class citizens in your own father's land. They are the ones that want to ostracize you and your religion simply because they are either too too uninformed, or they are just the level of their Islamophobe cannot just be helped anymore. So I would be surprised. I would actually be surprised, if we are having conversation now, and at the end of the day, we allow people with agenda to come and interject it. I shouldn't even be speaking on this because, like I said, I'm not a Yoruba man. I am an Oko man. I'm not from the southwest. I'm from Kogi State. And as a Muslim, the Sultan speaks for me and represent my interest. So when you see some group of barbarians from the so-called Yorubaland, southwest Nigeria, the Yoruba nation terrorists and their apologists, when you see the unprintable names that they have been calling the Sultan, this is just a warning. Alaafin of Oyo is not somebody that we can also not drag. The Oni of Ife is not somebody that we cannot drag. So when you decide to be unfortunate, and then when we now want to push back, you now begin to say, oh, I told you it's not Yoruba, is a Fulani slave. Yeah, yes, I am. My mother is a Fulani. In fact, I identify more with my Fulani heritage. So this will be just, wetting the ground for what will be happening in the coming months, the coming days, and the coming weeks. If I ever come to you to ask for your vote, to hell with you and your vote. I don't need the vote of Lagos. I don't need the vote of Oshun. I don't even need whatever your so-called Yoruba conservatism have to offer. They are useless to me. It has never in any way, it is completely useless to me. If I want to contest election, I'll contest in Kogi. My Okun people, we don't discriminate. We are not Islamophobe. So if I come to you for any future election on the Alaafin of Oyo, remember what you said about the Sultan of Sokoto, who is simply representing you. We are still.
Ọmọ àlè rádaràda, ọmọ ìrankíran, ọmọ àlè. Did you hear that part? I told you, if you see the people who have, Nigeria people have kind of like intermarried. You see Yoruba, Igbo, you see Yoruba, Hausa, or you see Hausa, Igbo, you will see Yoruba, Fulani, and all of that stuff. You see every one of them that is kind of like birthed by a mix of a Fulani. There is something in that, because whether the father is Yoruba and the mother is Fulani, somehow, the inferiority complex always catch them sooner or later, that they believe that they are more Fulani than being Yoruba, or more Fulani than being Okun, which is Yoruba. So you get, it's always there. And somehow, as much as the Fulanis see them as subhumans, but they are like the ready-made religious soldiers, the foot soldiers for the advancement of the Fulani agenda in those areas. You get that now? So it is always, I don't understand. Maybe because I am a full-blooded Yoruba, right? So an Ijebu man. My mom is Ijebu, my dad is Ijebu. Their own parents were Ijebus, and the parents before them, they were Ijebus. It's like a Ijebu. But being a Yoruba man, being an Ijebu man within the nation called the Yoruba nation, right? So there is this pride in being Yoruba. So somebody like me, there's something in being Yoruba. It is like, it is like this generational pride. I don't know. I mean, I don't know what it is like for other people who have a sort of a mixed birth. you get now like you know, inter-tribal or inter-ethnic or inter-racial sort of you know, family. So when I look at confused people, right, who would rather sacrifice their Yorubaness for something with no history, like being full. Sorry, apologies to you if you're a Fulani watching me right now, okay? But from what I know, right, you don't even exist until 1807, after the first Jihad, terrorism against the Hausa nation. Fulani didn't exist. Nobody can say, okay, except for those who trace